In this video, we will show you how to replace your power steering fluid reservoir on this Jeep Patriot. This will be located along the passenger side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. To be able to remove our part, we're going to have to remove our coolant reservoir first. To do that, we're going to make our way all the way over towards the top of the radiator. Let's start disconnecting our overflow hose from the top of the radiator here. If you needed to, you could remove your radiator cap. You just want to make sure that your cooling system is not under pressure. To disconnect the hose itself, just go ahead and take hold of it. We're going to give it a little twist, attempting to separate it and pull it off of the area. A thorough inspection of the radiator where it mounts, just confirming that it's not damaged in any way. Go ahead and follow that hose down to its next mounting point, down in this area. Now for this, we're just going to pry this out of place. You can use a trim tool or even a screwdriver if necessary. All right, now we can start dislodging the coolant overflow tank from its mounting bracket. You're going to find that it has one 13mm headed mounting bolt. Let's remove that. Continuing on, we want to take hold of our overflow hose so it's not facing down. Have a look in this area where your coolant reservoir and washer fluid reservoir meet. We're going to draw the coolant reservoir straight forward and away from this area. Should be able to go ahead and wiggle it right out of position. A quick inspection and we'll set this aside. Continuing from here, we're going to remove as much fluid from inside of the power steering reservoir as possible. Remove the cap by turning it counterclockwise. I have a fluid extraction tool. We'll dispose of that fluid properly. For now, I'm just going to rest the cap in position here. We can continue on to our one 13mm headed mounting bolt. With the bolt out of there, we can take hold of this, lift it up as necessary. Now that we have this dislodged, we can see both of our power steering lines. We're going to dislodge both of these and set the reservoir aside. Of course, there could still be fluid inside of the reservoir or even the hoses. I'm just going to put a small collection receptacle into this area. We want to collect and recycle all the fluid as necessary. Now we're going to start removing the hose clamp from our larger hose here. For this, it has a squeezable clamp. I'm just going to use some pliers. We can squeeze that in. I'm going to bring the clamp down the hose a little bit here so it's away from our power steering reservoir. Continuing on, we need to remove the hose from the reservoir. You might have to break it free using a hose pick. Okay, we'll make sure that this drains into our collection receptacle, of course. Okay, that's pretty much done draining now. You'll find on your brand new power steering reservoir, it came with some rubber plugs. Let's just go ahead and insert those onto our original power steering reservoir, preventing any fluid from making its way out as we continue on. Now that we have the hose off the reservoir, the next thing you need to do is give it a quick inspection, make sure it is soft and pliable, and not torn, worn, or damaged in any way. That looks good. I'm going to set this aside. Let's continue on to the next hose. For the next hose clamp, we're just continuing on with our pliers. Go ahead and squeeze that in. We'll slide it out of place. Typically for this one, I like to just squeeze on the clamp, and then I can remove that reservoir. And there it is, friend. Now it's time to install our brand new power steering reservoir. When installing this, we're going to start with our hoses first. I'm going to start with the larger hose. We'll slide that onto the reservoir as far as possible. Once you have it on there, continue on with your clamp. We're going to slide this all the way up towards that reservoir, but we do want to be able to see hose on both sides of the clamp once it's fully installed. That looks good. We'll continue on to the next hose. Essentially the same process for this one. We're going to have to press it on there as far as possible. Just going to move this clamp a little bit further out of the way here. Now, as you can tell, this clamp is a little bit too far towards that power steering reservoir. It's hanging off the hose a little bit. We can't leave it like this. It needs to be properly aligned. Let's make our adjustment. There we are. I can see hose on both sides. A quick tug confirming that both of those hoses are properly secured in place. Let's secure that power steering reservoir. Start in your mounting bolt, snug it up. Now it's time to install the coolant reservoir. Let's get this in position. As we bring the coolant reservoir down along this area, we're going to have to slide the coolant reservoir in and over the tab that's part of the washer fluid reservoir. Let's bring it in here, line it up, press it in. Let's get that hose out of the way. After an audible click, we're going to be paying attention to the mounting bolt port next. Start on the mounting bolt and snug it up. Let's just make sure that's secure, and now we can make our way to resecuring our overflow hose. Just make sure we run it along the proper area. Slide that right up on there. Once you have it pressed on, attempt to tug it out of position. It should not slide out of position. If for some reason it's a loose fit, you can use a wire tie in this area, holding it on. This feels fine. Now it's going to be time to top off the power steering fluid. For this, I'm going to remove the cap. When we go to fill the system, you want to have a look deep inside this area. It's kind of difficult to see, but if you were to look inside of there, you can see that there is a small white line making its way across. There is a second line all the way deep in here. This would essentially be the low point, so you want to make sure that the fluid's definitely not any lower than that. To fill this, I'm going to be using a funnel. We're going to be using the manufacturer's specified fluid inside this area. Get some fluid here. There we are. Now at this point, I've topped off the fluid up to my line. The next thing you need to do is go ahead and start up the vehicle. Let it run for a minute, and then turn it right back off. We're going to make our way back out here and double check the level. Make sure it's up to par, and then reinstall your cap. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. The next thing that we want to do is just double check for leaks and clean any mess. After that, go ahead and close the hood, take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.